welcome back to Cityline. We did a little bit of musical chairs, said goodbye to Chief Avery. Claire is over there. Claire, what are you chopping?
Just chopping up some peaches.
Are they ripe?
Yeah, absolutely. I just got them yesterday. They're all pretty good.
Because it is peach season. So
Yes, it is.
you keep being peachy.
Yeah.
That was my only mom joke of the hour. Well, I get to talk with this wonderful man. Ladies and gentlemen, on my comfy couch right now is Matt Maurer with Metro Parks. He is one of their newest board park commissioners. Matt, welcome to Cityline.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm very happy to be here.
Let me tell you, I stalk you on Instagram. I love your family. I send Cheryl notes like, when is he going to be on? And she's like, he will be on. We got him. Just calm down, sister. So first off, as the newest commissioner of our 5-member elected board of park commissioners, let's start a little bit about telling our viewers about yourself and why you decided to serve our community.
Sure.
And we've got some pictures of you swearing in, which we love those pictures.
Okay.
So Matt, tell us about yourself.
Cool. Well, born and raised in Tacoma. Went to Wainwright Hunt, the old Hunt, right?
Yes.
And Silas, or what was at the time Wilson.
Right.
So been here my whole life. Family's been here since the 70s. My grandpa and his family came over to JBLM, so they're a military family. My mom's side, they were living in Sumner in Auburn, did a lot of farming back in the day. Grandpa worked for Boeing, and so been here a long time.
Okay, wait, who swore you in?
Oh, sorry, that's my dad.
That's your dad?
That's my dad.
Hi, Dad.
Right, 30 years, almost 30 years in law enforcement, retired. One of my role models for sure, and that's my son next to me there. So.
I was going to say, and who is the precious child next to you?
That's my little son, Milo. So
How old is Milo?
He'll be 4 in October.
I love this.
Yeah,
oh my
October
gosh,
5th.
that is so. Dad swore you in.
Yeah.
Milo was right there going, "Yeah, Dad, way to go."
Yeah, he was excited.
And here you are, and you come from a military and a police background, so you've got this public servant thing written all over your heart. It's in your DNA, isn't it?
Yeah, I've always wanted to serve. I joined the military right out of high school, joined the Coast Guard Reserves, deployed with them a couple times, had a lot of fun with that. But yeah, always drawn to serving and doing more. And
so when you think about what might surprise the average person in the community, about things that you've been excited to learn more about as the result of joining this board, what's that first one that pops into your mind?
I think really the partnerships that Metro Parks has, specifically with Tacoma Public Schools.
Oh, yes.
They are doing some amazing things, talking about the whole child, things like Club B, Beyond the Bell, some of our schoolyard programs with the Trust for Public Lands. There's so much behind the scenes happening with Tacoma Public Schools, ensuring that the youth within Tacoma have services, throughout the entire day, not just during school, and then also in the summer with like our summer late nights program that we're partnering with.
They were just on last week.
Were they really? Okay,
they were,
it's such a cool program, right? And so I think sometimes our governments get a little bit siloed, right? Where they do their own thing, we do our own thing, especially with ours having a unique structure where the parks is its own, separate government body, right? And so we really have to be really intentional about ensuring that we're talking with and working with our other governments to make sure we're providing the best service possible. And so I think some of the work that we're doing with Tacoma Public Schools is really, really world class, and it's really providing an amazing service to the folks within the city.
Metro Parks has one of the best strategic plans. And there are some highlights here, and we're going to show some beautiful footage. I think it's of Dickman Mill.
Yeah.
The drone footage is oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
Look at this.
Yeah.
Metro Park. Thank you, Nancy Johnson. I'm just thinking that's all I can do is to thank her for this beautiful. Do we live in a gorgeous place or what?
We absolutely do.
So when we think about keeping that place gorgeous, we have to talk about a new system and a strategic plan. So what are some of the highlights as we look at this?
Yeah, well, for Dickman Mill in particular, you see those pilings out there right now, and so those are old creosote pilings from some of the old industrial uses along the waterfront there, and so we're partnering with the Department of Natural Resources to actually remove those. I know they've been part of it forever. I mean, it's a lot of part of folks' pictures, but it's actually really detrimental to the wildlife and the ocean there because it's just kind of leaking creosote. So, but in terms of the strategic partnership, there's 4 main categories. people, places, pathways, and partnerships. Oh, I got them
Four
all.
Ps.
4 Ps.
You are so good.
And we just updated it and passed it, I think it was last month. And so we've got a lot of really cool things coming up. One of the things I like to highlight too is we're really leaning into mapping and making sure we understand where we have different areas that we can improve upon, even, you know, down to the nitty-gritty within each community, right? And so we're able to identify where we're lacking in certain service areas. So then as we move into potentially the next bond measure, we know where we need to put those investments into those communities that maybe don't have as many parks within a 10-minute walk shed, or don't have as many kind of dog parks, or don't have as many pools, right? And so we can really utilize some of the equity index at the city of Tacoma to try to like target where we should make some of those investments. And this strategic plan really allows us to go in that right direction in my mind. So.
And I love the fact that Metro Parks is known for, the park board commissioners, of asking these questions of the people who you serve and saying, okay, in this neighborhood, what is it you need? Because if you're going to ask people to pass a bond, we hope you have said, pass the 4 Ps, please, and thank you ahead of time. And it sounds like that Metro Parks is actually doing that.
Right, because I think it's really important too to not just assume that cookie cutter like park, for instance, for each neighborhood. You know, you really need to like, and we have the ability now to dig into each neighborhood's needs and determine what makes the most sense in each neighborhood, as opposed to just here's a park with a big toy. You know, sometimes you know big toys are great, but sometimes this community needs something a little bit different.
So speaking of parks, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Do it.
I know that you're a parent, and whenever my child would ask me, am I your favorite? I would say, well, yes, because you're my only child.
Yeah, right. I only got one.
So, the easy answer. But it's very clear. People know my favorite park is Wright Park. What's yours?
So right now it does ebb and flow.
It does.
Which is a good segue into my favorite park of right now, Titlow. I really enjoy plunging. That's kind of been a little bit popular recently, and so going into the water for a good 10 minutes, cooling down everything. I was actually Councilmember Christina Walker who really kind of got me right. I know she got me involved in that. I did it first time with her at Titlow. Absolutely loved. I actually recently just did a birding. Yeah, there it is right there. I went birding with some of our great. Oh yeah, there I am.
There you are.
We've got some park guides that do some really great work that are trying to activate different parks, and I just did a birding tour of Titlow, which was a lot of fun as well. So.
Birding is fun, and that whole area.
It actually is. I was not expecting to have as much fun as I did.
That's one of my questions of why, as I get older, do I really start enjoying birds? Don't answer the question.
I know, right? Yeah.
But do answer this question, this last 10 seconds. Who do you want to thank for your journey? The journey that got you here today.
Yeah. Well, 100% my parents. You saw my dad up there swearing me in, but definitely my family. My husband, Joby, my son, Milo, doesn't really know exactly what's going on, but he's as supportive as a 3.5-year-old can be, right?
Absolutely.
But my husband, you know, there's some late nights. He has to do some stuff and take Milo home and do dinners more than I guess he would have if I wasn't doing this elected role. And so he's been extremely supportive and my rock for sure. So.
You have a permanent seat on this comfy couch.
I appreciate it.
And so I want you back.
It is actually really comfy.
Yeah, I told you.
Yeah.
I want you back here in 90 days to talk about what's happening and
Yeah.
how all of the strategic plan is coming out and what feedback.
And we will have done our budget by then too, so we can talk about some of our priorities there too. So.
We have much
Amanda.
more to come on Cityline. Don't go away. We'll be right back after this quick break.